Hello, my name is Shorn Khumalo, and I'm a public relations specialist at The Client Media. And this is how I beat COVID-19. So, my COVID-19 experience starts with a drive from Johannesburg to Cape Town. I am based in Joburg, but I'm originally from Cape Town, so my entire family is here. And so I thought it would be wiser to be around family around these uncertain times. And around the 24th of May, I think it was a Saturday or Sunday, I woke up with a very heavy body. And I thought to myself, look, change of season, fever, flu-like symptoms, and it will go away 2 to 3 days from now, especially if I use the home remedies like I would if I had a fever or a flu. I remember calling my sister and asking her, are you guys this extremely cold? Because I have a separate granny flat at the back and within the property, and they have the main house. And she said, it's cold, but it's not that cold as you describe it. I had stuck out my hand and I felt shivers, and I was like, it is damn cold today. And I put on the electric heater and added an extra blanket, and it was still cold. I think on day two, I started getting a cough, and the body was just, exhausted. And I started thinking, what's going on? Because I hadn't done anything extremely physical the previous day or previous 2 days. And yeah, the cough was quite consistent, and I was coughing more than the usual time. And so I started thinking it could be COVID-19. And then I was doing a bit of work while I was in bed. So I stayed in bed. I started isolating myself because at this point, because I'm aware of what's going on in the world, there's coronavirus and it's a pandemic. I started isolating myself from family. And so I told them nobody should come in. I'm suspecting myself, but I'm just giving myself a bit of time to see if the med lemon and stony remedy that I normally have when I have a normal flu would kick in, and it would turn out to be just a random flu. Um, Day three, I had a conversation with my client who's a medical doctor, and we were discussing work because I was working from my bed. And she said to me, I think you might have a shortness of breath. And I said, what? How? What do you mean? And she said, look, we've been on this call for 5 minutes, and every second you stop to catch your breath while coughing. So it's not intense yet, but it is shortness of breath. And then that's when I started sort of taking this whole thing quite seriously. I asked if she could recommend that I go test, and where do I go, and what do I do now. And so obviously people have been given all these recommendations and what to do and what not to do. And so I started adhering to all of them. I took immune system boosts every day. I think I took a lot of Corenza C. I took a lot of Effaflu C. I had a bunch of oranges that I had bought, I think 2-3 days before. And, you know, I started practicing what everybody was preaching. I had oranges that I had bought. I had all these medications from your eucalyptus oil that people told me to use it when I bath. And from there, it kind of got worse. I was struggling to breathe one night, and I gave my client a call, and I said, I'm admitting myself in a hospital. I admitted myself in hospital because, you know, everything was happening all at once. I was extremely tired. I had no energy, and I had lost appetite. I had stopped eating completely, and it felt like my body is about to shut down if I don't get any help. And so I asked one of my uncles to drive me to my nearest hospital, and I got there and I was put on drip. And I remember specifically it was more than one drip that they put me on, so meaning, you know, I had no energy at all, and I had no food in my system at all. I was put on 2 drips, and I was given oxygen, and then I was transferred to a different hospital. And then in the hospital, I stayed for about 3 days in one hospital. while I was being given all the necessary medication and being instructed to follow the breathing techniques which they had to sit up and try and breathe. Yeah, but like it was excruciatingly hard on the body. You felt it. You felt the body fighting. And I remember I had a spiritual conversation with my body, and I said, "Look, um, it's time for you to fight. There's so much I need to live for. There's so much I still need to do. My dreams, I haven't even ticked off half of them yet, and I'm still young. Could you please fight?" These were conversations I was having in my head with myself, because I just felt so hopeless in that there's not much that I have control of in the situation, but it can only be my body responding to what I intake and fighting the virus on its own. And I literally negotiated my body and I said, "I appreciate you. You can do this. We can do this. These are just conversations you have in your head. We can do this. You can do this. Fight. You have so much to live for. This is a virus. You're stronger. You can beat it." So it's just conversations I was having with myself as I was laying in that hospital bed, and just hopeless in terms of doing anything physical, like moving or doing something. And then from there, I was told that they are picking up hypoxemia pneumonia and that I needed to go to ICU. And I was transferred again to another hospital for intensive care unit. And on my way to the hospital, I was extremely anxious because I wasn't sure why I'm going into ICU. I can still speak, I can still walk, even though I take my time to get to places because of shortness of breath. But when I got to the hospital, I said to the doctors, "I'm feeling a lot better," because I was feeling better, and I can sort of breathe on my own. I can still feel that my body's not 100% there. And they did a bit of, medical checks, and they said to me, "Look, we're not going to send you to ICU. We're going to isolate you in a room, and we're going to give you antibiotics. 3 days from now, we'll be able to determine whether you can go home." At this point, I had regained my appetite because I had lost it completely. I'd regained my appetite and I started to eat again. They served me breakfast. I finished a whole bowl of oats, and they served me lunch, and I finished the whole bowl of lunch, and same with supper. And I was isolated in the one room, and I received really good treatment. Lunch was on time, supper was on time, breakfast was on time. And on day 3, I was then discharged and sent home and advised to isolate for 14 days. But obviously I was chatting to healthcare professional friends, some who are doctors and some who are nurses. And the one doctor said, "Look, you need to make it 3 weeks instead of 2, because we need to sort of give your body some time to catch up." And so I did. I stayed indoors for 3 weeks, but on week 2, the hospital gave me a call to say, "Hey, Mr. Khumalo, today you can get out of isolation." But I knew that I had a private conversation with a friend who's a medical doctor. And then I decided to stay indoors 1 more week. And I was working from my bed because I generally don't like sitting and doing absolutely nothing. However, something I would emphasize to a lot of people is that you need to take it easy. When you are diagnosed or when you get the virus, you need to take it easy. You need to stay in bed and keep fighting. And when I say stay in bed, but you need to get up and also not just give in. You need to get up, just take a walk a bit within the room, or just try and do a bit of exercising here and there. Continue to boost your immune system. I am definitely much better now because it's almost been 2 months that I've been COVID-19 free. I feel that things have gone back to normal for me. What I struggled with past the 3 weeks was um, mild headaches that I was getting and an irritation around the chest. But I am much better now. I have full energy and full control of my body. What I've learned from the COVID-19 experience is that we definitely need to take care of our bodies, we need to take care of ourselves, we need to eat well, and we also need to stay hygienic. It is important past this experience or past this pandemic to continue to make sure that our hands are sanitized and we look after ourselves and specifically our bodies and what we intake. I think the advice that I would give people would be, continue to boost your immune system, whether you have contracted it or not. Find out, what I found out was that take a lot of vitamin C, boost your immune system, eat a lot of oranges, multivitamins, so that should you contract the virus, it gets to a system that is stronger. Even when you have contracted it, take it easy, but try and not be stagnant and sit in bed all day. I think, try and move around or use the breathing technique so that you don't fully get closed off or your chest doesn't close off on you. My message to everyone would be to take this pandemic quite serious and to make sure that they get educated about this virus as much as they can. It is a matter of educating yourself and those around you on what to do and what not to do. It is real, and please look after yourselves. Make sure your immune system boosts all the time and that you social distance and you keep on your mask and only leave your house when you need to. You don't have to social gallivant. You don't have to go out there when you don't have to. It is real. I was lucky enough to make it, and you might not be.